From the day you were born, something about you has never quite clicked with the world around you. You may have tried to fit in, maybe you still are, but deep down, there's always been a quiet knowing inside you that whispered, you're not like the rest, not better, not above, but different, rare. And in a world addicted to sameness, that kind of rarity can feel more like a curse than a gift. But what if I told you that what makes you feel alien here is proof that you're tapped into something sacred, something unseen, something most people have forgotten? This is not just about personality differences, or introversion, or being misunderstood. This goes far deeper. It's about vibration, your energetic signature. And when your vibration is rare, it means it carries a frequency that few can recognize, fewer can hold. That's why your presence doesn't always land. That's why people project. That's why relationships feel fragile, awkward, or intense. Because you're not playing by the same frequency rules. You're tuned to a higher station, and the static around you can't decode your signal. The first sign your vibration is too rare to fit into this world is that you've always felt like an outsider even when surrounded by people. It's not just social awkwardness, it's an existential sense of being misplaced. You could be at a party, at a family gathering, or even among friends who love you, and yet there's this subtle disconnection, like you're watching life unfold through a window instead of living it. You're there, but not of there. And what's wild is that you've probably become a master at playing roles to cope with this shape-shifting, mirroring, adapting. But the truth is, no matter how well you perform, the deeper part of you still knows, this isn't home. That feeling isn't a flaw. It's your compass. It's letting you know that your soul remembers a level of connection, depth, and resonance that this world rarely offers. You're not broken. You're remembering. Another sign is that you're deeply sensitive, not just emotionally, but energetically. You walk into rooms and feel everything. You sense the mood before a word is spoken. You feel the truth behind people's smiles. You pick up on frequencies no one is talking about. And for most of your life, you've probably been told you're too much, too emotional, too intense. But your sensitivity isn't a weakness. It's a superpower, but only when you stop trying to numb it. The reason you feel so much isn't because you're fragile, it's because your vibration is wired to tune into what others can't see. You're perceiving layers of reality that most people are blind to. That's why crowds exhaust you. That's why small talk feels unbearable. That's why the news, the noise, the chaos of the modern world can feel like an assault. You're not weak. You're wide open. And in a world built on numbness, your openness is revolutionary. A third sign is your deep craving for meaning. You can't do superficial. You can't fake it. You can't stay in environments, relationships, or jobs that lack soul. Even if you try, your body will start rejecting it. You'll feel drained, anxious, heavy. That's because your vibration is designed for purpose. You're not here to just survive or succeed in the conventional sense. You're here to embody truth, to bring through frequencies that haven't been felt here in centuries. That's why the mundane kills you slowly. That's why you need beauty, depth, mystery, alignment. You're not being picky, you're being precise. Your soul knows what it came here to do, and anything that distracts from that mission will eventually start to fall apart in your hands. Have you ever noticed how things fall apart when you stay too long where you don't belong? That's not failure. That's your vibration creating friction. It's your energy pushing you out of anything that doesn't match your soul's frequency. Another undeniable sign is that you trigger people without doing anything wrong. You could be quiet, kind, loving, and still, someone gets uncomfortable around you. They might project onto you, avoid you, or even resent you for no clear reason. Why? Because your vibration exposes, it reflects, it activates. And people who are disconnected from themselves will feel that dissonance in your presence. They may not know what it is, but they'll feel it. Your light makes their shadows squirm. Your presence reminds them of the truth they've buried. And instead of facing that truth, many will choose the easier route: blame, judgment, distance. Don't take it personally. This is spiritual physics. Your frequency is too rare to be easily digested. And that's okay. You're not here to be digestible. You're here to be undeniable. You may also find that time feels different to you. You don't operate on the same clock as others. You go through massive inner shifts in short periods. You may feel like you've lived multiple lifetimes in a few years. You see patterns most miss. You go through cycles of death and rebirth more often than seems normal. This isn't a malfunction, it's acceleration. When your vibration is rare, your evolution doesn't follow the collective pace. You're on a different loop. That means you outgrow things quickly. You see through illusions fast. You move through karma at lightning speed. And it can be disorienting, but it's also divine, because you're not here to repeat cycles. You're here to break them. And then there's this: you often feel called to isolate, not out of depression, but out of necessity. The noise of the world grates on you. The chaos feels violent. And your soul demands space to recalibrate. You may go through long periods where you pull away from everything: friends, work, even your passions. Not because you're giving up, but because you're tuning in. You're listening for a signal that's not on the mainstream frequency. And that signal only comes through in silence. This is sacred. This is initiation. But it can feel lonely. So let me ask you something. When was the last time you honored your solitude instead of questioning it? If you're still here, if this is resonating in the marrow of your bones, then you already know you're not meant to fit into this world. You're meant to help rebuild it. You're not here to be normal. You're here to be true. You are the rare vibration, the forgotten frequency, the living reminder of what this world could be if only it remembered its soul.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
If your vibration is rare, you already know life doesn't go easy on you. Not because the universe is cruel, but because it's precise. When you carry a frequency that few can hold, you become the living edge of evolution. And edges are always tested, sharpened, refined. You've probably noticed that your path isn't linear. It's not neat. It's not filled with the usual markers of success. Instead, it's filled with initiation's tests that seem designed just for you. And they are. Because the universe doesn't test you to break you. It tests you to reveal you. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. The question is, can you see the sacredness in the struggle? One of the most brutal ways these tests show up is through loss. People leave. Opportunities vanish. Things that once felt aligned fall apart without warning. And sometimes it happens just when you thought you were finally on the right path. But here's the deeper truth. Not everything can come with you into higher frequencies. When your vibration ascends, anything not in resonance will either evolve with you or fall away. That's not failure. That's frequency sorting. The higher you go, the more precise the alignment becomes. And that means people, habits, beliefs, and even parts of your identity will be stripped away, not to punish you, but to purify you. You're not meant to carry the weight of what no longer serves you, but it takes courage to let go, especially when what's falling away is all you've ever known. Another test is the silence. The long, aching silence between the breakdown and the breakthrough. You pray, you meditate, you do the inner work, and sometimes nothing happens. No signs, no clarity, just the vast unknown. And in that void, your mind will scream for answers. Your ego will beg for certainty, but your soul, it knows. It knows that silence is not absence. It's preparation. The void is not a punishment, it's the womb of rebirth. When your vibration is rare, the universe doesn't rush your unfolding. It gives you space to become. But can you trust the process when nothing makes sense? Can you stay rooted when everything you relied on has been stripped away? Those are the questions that burn away false strength, leaving only what is real. You'll also be tested through reflection. People will mirror back the parts of you that still seek validation, approval, or safety. And those mirrors won't always be gentle. Sometimes they'll come as rejection, other times as betrayal. But every painful reflection is a gift in disguise. It shows you where your power is still leaking, where your worth is still conditional, where your voice is still silenced. You might ask, why do I keep attracting people who don't see me? But a better question is, where am I still not fully seeing myself? The universe will keep sending mirrors until you stop looking for yourself in others and start recognizing your own reflection in your stillness. And then comes the final test service without attachment. When your vibration is rare, you are a transmitter. You touch people just by existing. Your words carry frequency. Your presence shifts rooms. But the challenge is this: can you offer your gifts without needing to be seen, praised, or understood? Can you plant seeds you might never see bloom? Can you shine your light even when no one notices? This is the sacred burden, knowing that your impact will often be invisible, that your presence may trigger more than it comforts. that your truth may be rejected before it's revered. But you still speak, you still give, you still love. Not because it's easy, but because it's who you are. Rare vibrations are tested because they are temples. You are a living sanctuary of remembrance, and temples must be strong. Not perfect, but unshakable in their purpose. So if life has been hard on you, if you've questioned why your path is filled with so much resistance, it's because what you carry is precious. And precious things are protected, even when it feels like they're being broken. So now, let me ask you something soul deep. Are you willing to be misunderstood, misjudged, and even abandoned in order to stay true to your vibration? Because that's the path of the rare. It's not glamorous. It's not always rewarding. But it is holy. When your vibration is rare, you don't just exist in the world, you bend it. Your presence is not passive. It's catalytic. You are not here to merely observe reality, you are here to reshape it. But let's be clear, this isn't about magic tricks or spiritual ego. This is about understanding the quantum truth of who you are. At your core, you are not a body with a soul, you are a soul with a frequency. And that frequency interacts with the field around you constantly. It informs, disrupts, heals, reveals. Most people walk through life reacting to their environment. But you came here to reprogram it. And that's why your life can feel so intense, because your vibration doesn't adapt to the matrix. It rewrites it. When you walk into a space with rare energy, the subtle field around others begins to shift. Sometimes they'll feel uplifted. Sometimes they'll feel triggered. Sometimes they won't even know why they feel uncomfortable in your presence. But what's really happening is that your vibration is activating something in them. You're reminding them of a truth they forgot. You're vibrating at a level that exposes illusions. And reality, both yours and theirs, starts to reorganize itself around that higher frequency. This can feel chaotic. People may fall away. Systems may collapse. Old desires may dissolve. But that's not destruction, it's realignment. You are a living portal, and portals don't ask for permission to open. They just open, and everything around them either rises or runs. This is why your manifestation process works differently than most. You've probably noticed that traditional manifestation teachings don't always apply to you. You can't just visualize and affirm and expect things to fall into place. That's because your soul didn't come here to manifest from your mind. It came to channel reality through your being. For you, manifestation isn't about forcing reality into a shape. It's about becoming the frequency of what you desire and letting reality mirror your inner state. That's why when you're deeply aligned, when you're in your truth, in your body, in your heart, things seem to just happen. People show up, opportunities align, synchronicities unfold. But when you try to control, chase, or manipulate outcomes, everything stalls. Because your power lies not in the force but in the frequency. Rare souls must understand this. Your vibration creates ripples. You might say one sentence and change someone's entire trajectory. You might walk past a stranger and shift their mood without even speaking. You might express your truth and unknowingly unlock someone else's. This is not about being special. It's about being aware. When your energy is rare, your impact is often invisible, but it is never insignificant. Let that sink in. You don't need to be seen to be effective. You don't need to be followed to be powerful. You don't need millions of eyes on you to be a force. Your very being is bending the fabric of reality every moment you live in alignment. But with this power comes responsibility. You must be vigilant with your energy, not paranoid precise. It matters what you consume, who you connect with, where you place your attention. Because your vibration absorbs and reflects. If you allow yourself to be entangled in chaos, your field becomes scattered. If you surround yourself with people who drain your essence, your signal weakens. You are not here to drown in density. You are here to anchor clarity. That means choosing environments that nourish your nervous system. People who respect your depth. Conversations that stimulate your spirit. You don't owe your energy to anyone. You owe it to truth. And more than anything, you must trust the intelligence of your frequency. There will be moments where your path makes no logical sense, where you're called to release things that look good on paper, where you're guided to leap without guarantees. That's not recklessness. That's resonance. Your soul didn't come here to follow the blueprint. It came to write a new one. You are the prototype, the bridge, the blueprint for a new way of living. And that means trusting your vibration over your programming. trusting your body over your conditioning, trusting your resonance over your reasoning. Let me ask you something that will challenge everything you've been taught. What if your only job in this life is to stay radically loyal to your frequency no matter what it costs you? No matter who leaves, no matter what falls apart, no matter how misunderstood you become. Could you do that? Could you live that freely? Because the truth is, the more loyal you are to your vibration, the more magnetic you become, not to the masses, but to the mirrors, the souls who see you, the opportunities that match you, the future that's been waiting for you to remember who you are. Your vibration is a portal, a doorway between worlds, and when you walk through it fully, unapologetically, everything begins to shift. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. If you've made it this far, you already know that you're not here to fit in, you're here to evolve the frequency of the collective. And that might sound grand, even impossible, but it's the quiet truth humming under every moment of your life. You're not just living for yourself. Your rare vibration carries codes, energetic blueprints that are meant to ripple out beyond your body, your story, your name. You are a living update to the human operating system. And the final sign that your vibration is too rare to fit into this world is that you were never meant to. What most people call awakening is really just remembering who we were before the programming, before the conditioning, before the layers of false identity were stacked on top of the soul. But for those with rare vibrations, remembering isn't a gentle process. It's violent. It's raw. It strips you. It isolates you, not because you're being punished, but because you're being fine-tuned. Your sensitivity, your pain, your overwhelming emotions, they're not dysfunctions. They're indicators that your system is working properly in a world that's forgotten how to feel. You are what the world will become once it remembers how to be human again. There's a reason you've always felt ahead of your time. You, Ari. The ideas you hold, the truths you speak, the love you radiate, it doesn't always land here because you're broadcasting from a future most people haven't reached yet. You see connections others don't. You feel pain others deny. You crave depth in a world obsessed with surface. And that dissonance can feel unbearable. But it's not a sign to shrink. It's a sign to stand taller. You are the prototype. You are the bridge between what is and what could be. And here's the most important truth. Evolution doesn't happen in crowds. It happens in individuals. In the quiet choices no one sees. In the moments when you choose truth over comfort. In the times when you speak up, even when your voice shakes. In the ways you love others without agenda. You don't need a stage to lead a revolution. You need only your presence. One fully awakened soul, vibrating in alignment, can shift the resonance of an entire room. One rare frequency, rooted in truth, can dismantle decades of illusion. This is the power you've been carrying all along, not to dominate the world, but to heal it. You've probably noticed that children and animals are drawn to you. That nature seems to speak to you more clearly. That silence feels like home. That's because your vibration is still in tune with the original frequencies of life, the ones untouched by ego, hierarchy, or fear. You are a frequency keeper, an ancient note in a modern symphony. And every time you choose to stay in alignment, you hold that note for others to find. You become a tuning fork for lost souls. You become a map without even speaking. That's why your energy is often drained around chaos. That's why you crave solitude. Because you're not just protecting yourself, you're protecting something sacred inside you. But this sacredness isn't meant to stay hidden forever. You've been preparing, shedding, remembering. And now you're being asked to live it. Not just in theory, not just in private, but out loud, fully, authentically. Because your vibration, rare as it is not just yours. It's medicine, it's prophecy, it's the future. And the world is starving for what you carry, not in your words, but in your being. So I'll leave you with one final question, one that only your soul can answer. If you are the frequency the world has been waiting for, what are you still waiting for? You're not too much. You're not too intense. You're not too sensitive. You're exactly what this world forgot it needed. You are the rare vibration. And your time is now.